a greater level of involvement and engagement over what we were doing. So I guess I was just trying to find a way to try and do that. Others may have a view, but
I think from a project perspective, our intention is to give them the same briefing that we will give you on the developed design, the sustainability strategy, etc., etc.
okay. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any further questions? Celeste?
With the NG building, was there ever, I realised that, there was a plan to move it and that wasn't possible. Was there a consideration of incorporating the actual building into the design, given that the cost of demolition and also the sustainability impact of demolishing a building and then building something else, whether that could have been used or can be used for something?
So it was their preference to build a new building and incorporate as much as they could from the old building in that new building. So that just wasn't a consideration. Right. They were keen to move on and move forward with the project. So they never raised that as a possibility. And so I think our role really was to help them to find a solution that they could live with and move forward with.
And second quick question, I understand it's quite high level, but in the statement of intent, the comment around sustainability, what is the sustainable approach?
Yeah, I think what might happen after we present to you that sustainable approach to design, construction and operation, there may be some specific performance measures that fall out of that over the term of the project. So at the time we put the statement of intent together, we described it as a strategy. And until, it's a bit like the total project budget, until we can actually complete that work, that design work and that assessment work, it's very hard for us to give you some quantifiable performance measures. So happy to revisit that after we present the developed design.
I guess the challenge with using a word like sustainability is it can mean anything to anybody. So for instance, sustainable economic development is quite different to having a reduction in climate emissions or using sustainable. So it would be good to kind of get some clarification on what that
I think what we'll end up with is we'll make a recommendation on what we think are the material areas that we have to deliver as part of that sustainability strategy, and maybe that might be a better set of performance measures than what we've got written there at the moment. But I think our first job was to complete that sustainability strategy and deliver that plan to you, and then from there we can pick out some specific initiatives and outcomes that we can measure as we deliver the project. And no doubt VO will have to do the same thing as part of operating Te Kaha.
So for instance, looking at where it fits within our climate budget would be a output that we'd be measuring?
Yeah, I think that's part of the VO long-term plan as well. So the operation of Te Kaha will have to have those sort of carbon or greenhouse gas or whatever those measures should be.
In the construction, I would assume as well.
Yeah, so part of it will be saying, I think there'll be a baseline of if we did a normal construction without these sustainability initiatives, this is what it would look like. And then if we apply those initiatives, this is the reduction in X, Y, Z, or the reduction in effects. So, and again, I'm taking a bit of a leaf out of the City Rail Link project because that's the approach they took. And so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you when we present.
Thank you.
Thank you. No further questions? All right, so I'm happy to move this. Do we have a seconder? Jimmy Chen. Is there any discussion? All those in favour say aye. Against? That's carried. Mike, sorry. So you're voting against? Yep, all right. So that's, and Sarah against, and Celeste against as well. All right, thank you. And Yanni against. All right, so that's carried. Thank you. So now we move to the Te Kaha elected member update.
So there are two things I want to highlight.